With the passing of Lindsey Graham over the weekend, the Senate and the balance of power that the Republicans have is now needing to have this vacancy filled. South Carolina Governor McMaster is announcing his replacement at 4 p.m. this evening. Well, Donald Trump jumped him to the news. He's recommending, Donald Trump that is, that Lindsey Graham's sister, Darlene, serve as interim senator from the great state of South Carolina. This would be a fabulous tribute, according to Donald Trump, to Lindsey, who loved her dearly. Now, if you know anything about the story behind Lindsey Graham, his parents passed very early in his life, and he had a younger sister, a kid sister that he had to watch over. And in fact, in one of Lindsey Graham's political ads, he goes into this a little bit as we're trying to explore who exactly is Darlene, the sister of Lindsey Graham. Let's have a look.
I'm Lindsey Graham, and I approve this message.
We grew up in a small town, central South Carolina. I guess looking back, we didn't have a lot. My parents, they were loving people and cared about us, but Lindsey was always the one that took care of me. He helped me with my homework. If I was sick, he gave me my medicine. He taught me how to ride a bicycle. I remember that. It was hard when we lost my mom and my dad. Lindsey assured me that he was going to take care of me and he was going to be there for me. And he did. He never let me down. He would come home every weekend, then he would call during the week. He made sure I went to college. To take on that responsibility of raising a little sister, that came from within for Lindsey. And he did a good job. Lindsey cares about the people of South Carolina just like he cares about me.
So clearly, Lindsey Graham, as much as we can say about his warmongering and other policies, he was true and was loyal to his duties as being an older brother. And here, actually, there's a beautiful picture. Sorry, you can't see it here. In fact, let me change my view over where you can see Lindsey Graham with his niece and obviously his sister here. Lindsey didn't have any children of his own. So the question really becomes, who is Darlene Graham? Well, let's kind of walk through this again as we try to acquaint ourselves. She's the younger sister of the late Senator Lindsey Graham from South Carolina. She's best known for being exceptionally close to her brother, and that was clear in the last video, who raised her after her parents died when she was a child. She grew up in South Carolina, central South Carolina, in a small town near Clemson, in a working class family. Her parents, Millie and Florence, these are obviously the parents of Lindsey as well, ran a cafe, a bar restaurant kind of thing, and the family again lived in modest means. Then obviously tragedy struck, and this is what we heard in that commercial earlier. Her mother died of Hodgkin's lymphoma when Darlene was about 12, and her father died of a heart attack about 15 months later when Darlene was 13. We knew a little bit about this heart attack from the father's side because it sounds, again, like there was some genetic issues as well with Lindsey Graham having his sudden aorta burst at his age. His dad was in his very early 60s, late 50s when he passed. So again, Darlene was 13, and she reportedly, and this is really heartbreaking, she was the one that discovered her father. Lindsey Graham, who is now passed, was about 21 at the time of their mother's death, and in college, he became Darlene's legal guardian, and he later formally adopted her so that she could receive his military benefits. He returned home frequently. Darlene mentioned that in the promo from college and during Air Force service to care for her. She lived with relatives in nearby Seneca when Lindsey Graham wasn't around. So Lindsey Graham, as we do know, he never married and had no children, and he considered Darlene to be his closest family member. And I think we can see that again from this photo that I showed earlier. She's let's see. She has spoke publicly about her how he taught her to ride a bike and how she did a bunch of stuff when they were younger. In 2015, she introduced him at his presidential campaign announcement. She's appeared in campaign ads. And then it sounds again like Darlene is a married young lady. She has some children of 2 daughters, and she's worked in roles helping people with disabilities find employment. So she has been out of politics all her adult life, obviously outside of supporting her brother Lindsey. So again, the key piece is, who is Darlene? Is she the best candidate to replace Lindsey Graham on an interim basis? Donald Trump thinks so. Again, he announced this quite early, trying to jump the news conference that Governor McMaster is going to have. And I think ultimately what this shows us, and we've seen the scrambling to fill Lindsey Graham's spot by Nancy Mace and by Trey Gowdy and by many others, that while the body is still warm, we're scrambling and showing their interest in filling the vacancy. At 4 p.m. Eastern today, Governor McMaster is going to be announcing his interim replacement. He's made it clear in his preceding announcement that the replacement will be interim. So Darlene or not, Governor McMaster is making his announcement later this afternoon. Let's see what they have to say. We'll keep you posted. If you've yet to subscribe to the Chris Locke Show, please do so. We'll see you in the very next video. Be sure to like and subscribe to the Chris Locke Show for the latest America First news, conservative commentary, and the stories that mainstream media refuses to cover. These 2 videos right up here, they're going to be next. Pick your favorite. I'll see you over there.